Hi everybody, Mr.K here, back on our 78 Shovelhead anniversary, and I'm going to be showing you today that I got the engine down in the engine cradle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my primary and bolt it up, and then I will go in and tighten the engine and the transmission and then set the chain adjustment to that. But I want to get that primary on there before I snug anything up and get it aligned. And I have the primary over here and I've been cleaning it all up. I got nice and cleaned, and we got a good bearing to put in there, and I have a new seal. That's the old seal, and then I got some new line that we're going to put in there. I had some 3/8 line over here, and we're waiting on a drill bit. So when we get the drill bit, I'll show you how we're going to do the helicoil, and have been polishing up my rocker box, and I'm going to show you that. But first off, I want to get this primary on and show you that. So we're going to go ahead and get it so we can tighten everything up. And I'm not going to put any seals, or I'm not going to put the O-ring on here. I do have a new one and a gasket. So I'm actually ready to get the primary on, and then once I get that on, I'll be able to put the clutch and the chain and a compensator and everything. And when I do that for real, when I get that on there for real, what I always like to do is I like to go ahead and take the hoses and put them on there and clamp them up nice here and here, and then there's one down here, and then I slide them through and then hook them up over here, so I'm not trying to feed the hoses in once the primary's on. So when we get to that, I'll show you. Okay, so I got the primary on and bolted up. And everything is pretty snug and seated. Now, I don't have my safety wire on or anything because I got to take it back off to run the oil lines, to put a new seal in there. You want to make sure your shaft spins nice. That's not all binding. Okay, and then we're going to be able to start getting our starter and clutch system and all that in there. On this side, I have my old oil lines. And what I plan to do is I'm going to take new oil lines up to here and reconnect them into that T, and that goes right through here onto the inner primary, and then it comes up to our vent. Goes here, and we got our breather, which goes down below. So we're gonna do that. I did get my ignition in and my new points cover, my tappet blocks in with the new hardware. I got them painted up black. And I have all my engine bolts tight. So I'm going to take that primary back off, and then I'm going to go ahead and make sure I torque all these. And then I'll be able to put the primary on for good, and I'll be able to put the regulator on, and things like that. Okay. And we're going to keep moving on. Okay, so I'm getting ready to put my inner primary on, and you can see that I put the hoses on this end this way. I got the new seal in there with the new chain oiler, and then on this side I got my new O-ring. So we're going to go ahead and get that put on for good, and then we'll be able to start getting the starter and all that wiring fixed up. Okay, gonna keep rolling. Okay, got my inner primary on and everything's torqued. Got my regulator on, got the holder on. I went ahead and put my clutch hub in with a new lock tab. Still wipe that off. Got my starter shaft in there. Also too, while I was working, I was working on the cylinders, making sure they're okay, cleaning them up and getting them put back on. I'm still working on the other one. Also, a new addition is I got a chrome rear chain guard. I was gonna clean that black one up, but I like that one because I'm probably gonna run it without bags for a little bit until I can get the bags and get them reconditioned. Got my starter on over here with the new bracket and the hardware. I got some of the oil lines ran. Okay, and we still got to put some clamps on the oiler, on the rear oiler, and we got that one up to the air filter. I got my breather vent. Okay, regulators on, everything's in there. Okay, looking pretty good. All right, and we're still working on the front head. Okay, so I just got it done. I tried to do a video one-handed with a stand to show you the helicoil. I did get the helicoil in there. It was pretty straightforward. You drill it, you tap it, you thread the easy out in there, or the insert in there. I got my rocker box polished up. All the bushings inside of the rocker arms were good and everything. I'm going to show you on the other head a little more in depth. I did get a nice gasket kit here, and this is one of those deals where the bolt and has a clip so it won't back out. So you can see that threads right in there nicely now. Okay, all the way in, nice and nice. Okay, as opposed to the old stock one, which was here. It wasn't that good. So we got that. I put some chrome hardware on the rocker box. I went with the chrome on the plugs as opposed to the red. I often wondered why they put those red caps on there, and someone maybe can chime in, but I was told that if the engine had overheated or it got too hot, then those plastic caps would melt off, indicating that, hey, you've overheated that engine. I don't know if that's true or not. And we'll clean it up because I got my hands dirty and everything, but that's where we're at. Once we get the head done, well, it's actually pretty close to being done. I put some new chrome spigots on there. I cleaned everything up. The valves were good. I put some new seals in there. I don't know about those seals. We're going to find out. And there we go. Working on the other cylinder. Still working on our oil lines. Had to get out my old notes from my schooling about my Shovelhead top end. I still got all that stuff and all my other tools for taking the valve springs off and everything. So that's where we're at. It's starting to come along pretty good, and it's really hot in here, so summertime, gotta love it. All right, gonna keep rolling, and hopefully everybody has a great summer. All right, God bless.